Hello everyone, and welcome to the new feature summary for May 2019. We have several things in this release that we really think you're going to like and is going to save you quite a bit of time. So let's get right to it. We've modified the Superbill to invoice workflow. Let's just show that and kind of we'll talk about it along the way. So when you are on the patient visit screen, let's say here we have a completed Superbill with 2 items that will go through to insurance and 1 that we private pay. All right. Typically, of course, you would select new invoice and then you would save the newly created invoice. But in this case, what you're going to see here is that Counselor's going to jump past several of those steps. So when I click new invoice, it's going to automatically save the invoice. It's going to take us to the line items tab, and it's going to automatically import the Superbill. Right? So before you normally would have reviewed this information, click save, gone to line items, click import Superbill. It's going to do that for you automatically now. Now this behavior only happens if you are creating the invoice from within the patient visit screen. It'll launch these different activities. Now beyond that, Counselor will also look at the individual line items and say, okay, are there any line items that are claimable? Right? And if they are, it'll automatically set the invoice type to insurance. Okay, by default, otherwise it'll be set to private pay. Once again, if there are any items that are claimable, Counselor will automatically take the full cost and assign that as insurance responsibility. So this means you do not have to go in manually and enter that information. Counselor will update it for you. Now, if you want to change it beyond that, you certainly still can. Okay, but the point being is that very quickly, with a single click, you have your invoice created, your Superbill imported, your insurance responsibility updated, and then you can see, of course, the breakdown of the total due, patient summary, insurance summary. Now when we move forward to the payments tab, there's also an additional tool that will help you break out the patient due versus insurance due. So here we can see that of this total of $197.44, $42.44 is from the patient, $155 will be sending on to the insurance. So right away with the patient standing in front of you, ready to pay for their batteries, you can go ahead and select that. Or if they had multiple multiple items that were private pay, you would click one time. Counselor's already done that calculation for you. Okay. All right. Now, if we jump back to our list here, let's look ahead at the claims tracking. Obviously, very important to know when a claim is required and when it's created. So now, or when it's been created. So now Counselor has a couple columns in the invoice report generator for that purpose. So under here, invoice report generator, we can see now there are now 2 columns, claim required and claim created. And this means that if the payer type for the invoice is insurance, which as we just showed has more meaning now because it's being automatically set, it will then ask, all right, is a claim required? Has it been created? So here we're saying yes, it's required. No, it hasn't been created. Let's look a little further here. We can see this one requires one, and yes, it has been created. So you could filter down by these and say, show me all the invoices where claims required, yes, and then filter down here and show any that say no, right? So I can catch any instances where I may need to have a claim, but we haven't done it yet. Okay. All right, let's jump back to our list. You also have the ability within the patient visit search to now search by referral type and by patient tag. So there's just additional fields that are available here under the patient visit search to search by referral type and tags. Now these are both patient level settings, meaning that obviously the tags are set within the patient profile and viewed there. The referral type, this is the patient level referral type, not an appointment referral type. Okay. All right. Now, loaners, you can now reassign these between clinics. So if you have multiple locations and you want to move loaners between locations, you now simply just go to administration and then loaners, and you can transfer them as needed. Okay. There's also a feature regarding email tracking. And this means that if you have emails that go out, let's look at Paula's email here, or Paula's profile. If you have any emails that go out and fail, right, you have a bad email address. So we'll look at her contact information, and we can see one of her emails is obviously wrong. The second one is accurate. But we sent an email to email@yahoo.com, and it gave us a notice here that it was unable to be delivered, right? So we can see it was sent out, and then it was unable to be delivered. The second email did go through successfully. Now, because the first one didn't go through, it automatically set the status as do not email. That way, going forward, you don't run into issues where you've had a failed email and then it keeps trying, right? So later on, the next appointment, it's not attempting to send an email confirmation, or perhaps you want to email the patient a statement or something. You're not inadvertently sending it to an email that has already been established to not be a valid email. Or this lets you know, hey, we need to double check this. Something isn't right. We need to update their address and make sure we have their current address in place, in which case you'd simply make the change and click Save at the bottom of the screen. So that concludes the changes, enhancements for May 2019. Thank you once again for all your great ideas, your feedback. We love to hear it. We love to incorporate in the system. We're excited to bring you a lot of these workflow efficiencies in place. So keep the ideas coming and have a wonderful rest of your week.